We are putting it to you that should anything happen, we know the culprit. Killer government. That's why you are gassing people, gassing a nation. From gassing to shortage of milling, from shortage of milling to collapse of butane, from collapse of butane to threats to harm UPND MPs. We are ready for that. So carry on with your mission. But there is nothing that you are going to do or say that will make us change or persuade us to do otherwise, other than to continue to oppose butane. We have seen how you have taken center stage, running all over, occupying almost all the radio stations and TV stations, trying to justify butane. If butane is a good law, why should you be running all over? Running all over, why? Who can justify a good thing? Because a good thing doesn't need explanation. The nation would know that this is good. Why have you spent so much time and money explaining butane when it collapsed? You should have done so before it collapsed. We told you this won't pass. President Lungu came to Parliament. With or without UPND, we shall pass Bill 10. You have passed it. Congratulations to yourselves. Time has come for PF to know that they are nearing the exit door. The resistance that butane has received, not just on the floor of the House, but right across the country. We have been monitoring your discussion programs on various radio stations. And you will agree that the majority of callers actually disagree with PF. So it is time up. PF will not be the first government to be kicked out of power. They will not be the first. So we ask you to begin to prepare yourselves psychologically for exit. But we shall not be like you, that when MMD left office, you began to harass them. We won't harass you. HH won't harass you. UPND won't harass PF. Our mission is focused on tackling poverty, tackling unemployment, paying retirees who have been singing at the Ministry of Justice without pay. That is where HH and UPND want to focus our energies. We will look after you. You don't need to come up with schemes such as gassing a nation for you to remain in power. No. When it is time, it is time. You will go, whether you like it or not. That's the desire of the people of Zambia. Now, allow me also to use this opportunity that as UPND would like to appeal to Zambia police that we have noted that ever since we held the 2016 general elections, Zambia police has sustained an illegal curfew in many towns of this country. An illegal curfew under the guise of curbing crime. And a lot of people, especially during weekends, get arrested. Just for being found moving around 21 hours, 22 hours, you are arrested in many towns of this country. Now that there is coronavirus, we want to appeal to Zambia police to lessen arresting people on flimsy grounds and take them into cells, because you end up taking someone with coronavirus into cells and you cause innocent people to die for nothing. So we call for the Zambia police to exercise restraint during this period. We also want to take this opportunity to ask the Patriotic Front government to explain to the people of Zambia what is happening at Zamtel in respect of Zamtel assets. We are aware they have been transferring Zamtel assets into the possession of an Indian company. Almost all the assets of Zamtel as we speak now are under the possession of an Indian company. We are asking them, is this a sale of Zamtel to an Indian company? Which you have been doing quietly and secretly? So tell us, so that we know that you have begun your program of selling national assets the way you have been selling Mukura. So we expect an answer, because Zamtel is not a PF company. It is a national asset, it's a national company. We want answers on this particular issue. I had promised that our briefing is short. I will now ask Honorable Syakalima, MP for Chirundu, now to address the nation. Thank you.
Thank you very much. Just a reminder to the press that us as Zambians, I think we have been hoodwinked by the PF, and because they've taken note that our memories are short, I'll run you back the way the PF have been actually brainwashing the Zambians in order to forget about what really matters for the Zambians. If you check in the past, you have forgotten about 42 million kwacha of those wheelbarrows. $42 million of those wheelbarrows. They quickly brought in the ambulances, you have forgotten. Then they rushed into this gassing thing, and the Zambians forgot. And they quickly rushed into this butane. They are now looking for other ways where Zambians will forget. That you forget that we are actually hungry. You are the 4th hungriest country in the world. You are forgetting all those things. So every time that they are caught napping with something, they bring other things so that you concentrate. You can see now that we are now talking about butane. Butane has been there for a long time. And then they had forgotten about it. They brought in the gassing issue. And then when it failed and it actually went back to their faces, they now brought back the butane. And now we are here talking about butane. Quickly, according to Given Rubinda yesterday, God has helped them. He has brought coronavirus. How can a normal person be happy that a disease that is capable of decimating a country, that you are now happy Parliament had adjourned, and then therefore you are going now to start campaigning for butane? Can you see the stupidity of a country? Can you see the nonsense of people that are ruling you? Somebody is saying that now, ministers, you have got a chance now to go and campaign for butane. Of course, logic doesn't, and I know Given is not too intelligent. And this is how they failed to buy one individual the day that we started that issue. They failed to buy one individual. The following day, they thought they were going to manage to do that. They never, because they were now falling short of 4. That is how they brought in this virus, so that we are now adjourning Parliament because of this virus. It is on the one wing of government which doesn't even have so many employees that you suspended their work. The courts are working. The executive is working. It's only the Parliament which is not working. So how would you think that parliamentarians, because also the workers of Parliament are still working. So is it the MPs who were carrying a virus? that you suspended Parliament? That's the question. It is not true. You cannot hide into the nonsense of wanting to perpetually rule a country. The nonsense must come to an end, and you Zambians you must wake up. The nonsense must come to an end. Of course, nobody builds a nest on my head myself. And my friend here was warning the MPs that somebody is saying that we vala ichena. You injure yourself. The country is hurting, and if you are not aware of that, if you could fail to purchase one MP, how are you going to purchase 6 million registered voters? How? Isn't that a sign that you are on your way out? And when you are on your way out, live properly. There are people who thought that they were so powerful in this world. Al-Bashir, 30 years of dominating those Sudanese. Where is he today? He's kept in a cage. He is kept in a cage. No one is as powerful as individuals are collectively as a country. I want one day to say that, you see, you carry guns, you carry tear gas. Zambians will ignore your guns, they will ignore your tear gas. So let them respect themselves, let them respect. In fact, I have always said, oppressed people don't live oppressed forever. Their yearn for freedom eventually ensues. This is what Zambia now has come to know, that they've got the inalienable rights to survive as individuals, to survive as a country. You cannot keep a country to ransom for over 8 years. Over 8 years, you keep a country to ransom. Every time you are manufacturing something that preoccupies our people, yet here you are stealing. Basically, thieves. Because corruption, it seems many people don't understand it, because in my language there's nothing like corruption. There's only the basic thieves. These are thieves, criminals. And they must be stated by the word that it denotes them. And I want to challenge Given Luvinda. And I've always said, this time around I was telling my friend here that yes, they've brought money. There is now a competition between money and intelligence. We shall see who will win. Money failed. Intelligence worked. Go to school again, Given, and go and learn how to respect a people. There comes when the people say, we shall resist this. And I know Zambians have now resisted. Nothing will turn them away from what they want to have. You can rain all the bullets on them, they will still survive. Gaddafi used to behave the same way. The Iraqi strongman used to behave the same way. You little boys that just came to the fore just 7 years ago, you want to trouble us? No. The country has refused. And the country continues to refuse. And you must be told you will go nowhere. This Bill 10 will be pierced through until it bleeds to death. It is now on its deathbed. I'm told, when is the burial?
On a day to be announced.
On the day to be announced. And who is the chief mourner?
President Lungu.
And let me even tell you this, because many of you do not know. These people dished a lot of money not just 3-4 days ago. They've been preparing this in the last 8 months. They brought that bill, it couldn't go through, they reinstated it. In the reinstatement they said, we shall now manage to purchase human beings. They've dashed into a lot of money. And from wherever the source must be theft. But they were pocketing that money, they were not giving it in all. They were pocketing that money. Now it is bitter. The reason why he's telling you say that they were getting drunk that day out of frustration. Even the people that have never seen actually emptying 2 tins of whatever, they were drunk and then they were sweating. Some of us who look beyond what somebody is thinking, I'm a trained psychologist. I warned you Zambians in December. Brace yourself for harder times. And I said by April, your budget will collapse. I said your kwacha will nosedive dangerously. You have no budget, you have nothing. This is March. You have nothing. So heed to what some of us actually advise. I'm not here one who predicts. For me, it's one thing to tell people, not out of supernatural powers. Supernatural powers. No, it's about how you check your country. And we want to appeal to you, Zambians, please get heed what other people say to you. Now, because now they are becoming frustrated, they are now running around like headless chickens. You saw them yesterday, I'm told they were at Pamosi, they were this side, this side, this side. Instead of people sitting down to talk about this disease that can easily decimate the whole country, they were planning on how to campaign for the butane to you Zambians, and not how to curb this coronavirus. If you have checked all the countries who has been a spokesperson about this coronavirus, it has been presidents everywhere, including here in Africa, apart from your own president. He only addressed about the gassing and dying people, mob injustices, when Parliament dragged him, because the Constitution dragged him to come to Parliament. And that is when he managed to talk to you. Now there is this disease threatening the decimation of your country. The president is quiet. I don't even know whether we can describe it as quiet. He is moribund. He is incapable. He is an inefficient character. He is ineffective. He is an incompatible person. He is so much deranged in all spheres of human endeavor. You can never have a president of such a nature. And you Zambians, you deceived yourselves. Even now they do not reverse the thing. No one is even dancing into it. You can go in all those compounds, go and check how our people are living. You can shed tears unless you are not a human being. This is the danger that you have with a person who even warned you that I am incapable. When he was saying that I have got no vision, what did you think? You Zambians, some of you who have actually even put an X against his name, what were you thinking? There you are today. There you are today. I warned in December, you have to buy a bag of minimum at 220. How much are you buying a bag of minimum today? Many days to come, you will suffer as a country. With this coronavirus, which is now devastating even first world countries. In the streets, there is nobody. Planes are not flying. They make money out of that. And how about you? Whom cholera has devastated you for years. Cholera, a disease of death. How about a disease that you don't even see? It's not about death. It's not about what? They are telling you to say that there's nothing that you can do. There's no vaccine. There's no cure. Only wash your hands. How do you know that even here where I'm touching there's that? Brace yourselves for more suffering. Finally, let me say this. Zambians always wake up. At the tail end, you can intimidate a Zambian the way you want to. At the end of the day, when it is about to come, God always speaks to Zambians. This is enough. Let these people get out of here. How I wish yesterday I was discussing with my colleague here, said that if God was a human being, we could have said, please, can you rush the day so that we're in 2021? But we are patient enough to wait for that day. And that day is nigh. The other time I told them, start making friends. Start making friends. Some of us who are used to protecting former leaders, and I've told the PF this, I may not be there one day to do that. I protected Churuba, I protected Kaunda, I protected Rupiah Banda after they lost power. I advise you, start making friends now. Otherwise, your exit might not be good enough. It can be painful. It can be painful. You have injured so many Zambians. You have hurt so many Zambians. You have killed innocent people. Some of them living with bullets in their buttocks. And you have never shown contrition as a president, Commander-in-Chief of the Defense Forces. The reasons why a Commander-in-Chief is always a civilian is to tamper with the armed forces. You kept quiet. One day, a child of that Lawrence Banda who died and that other girl who asked, who was president when my mother was shot dead? Who was the Minister of Home Affairs when my mother was shot dead or my father was shot dead in Kaoma? They will question that. Thank you.
Thank you, colleagues. Honorable Samakai, MP Munyelunga.
Zambia! Zambia!
Forward.
Zambia!
Forward. I just have a very short message to the people of Zambia. We received your commendation with gratitude when you commended us for standing tall against Bill 10. I have heard about corruption. I have talked about corruption. I saw it on the night of Tuesday, coming into Wednesday, when some of my colleagues were called and being offered huge sums of money so that they could vote with them. I have never seen that kind of corruption. The question perhaps Zambians must ask is, why is PF pushing in so much money into this Bill 10? What is hidden in this Bill 10? It makes me think that Bill 10 is poisonous. Bill 10 is poisonous for you Zambians. It's not good for you. It's good for those who want to spend so much money. I commend ourselves for standing tall, together with our president and the entire leadership of UPND. We have sent one message to the people of Zambia, that the team that HH has cannot easily be corrupted, cannot be easily corrupted. At least you have a team that you can trust. I tell you Zambians, the damage that has been done to your economy, to your country, is enormous, is huge. You can't see it today. That I can assure you. You can't see it today. Vote PF out. That is when you see the enormity of the damage that PF has done to you. Ask your colleagues across Angola. They would tell you, when Dos Santos left government, that is when they realized how dangerous Dos Santos was to their economy, how Dos Santos dangerous he was to their country. And we are only going to realize how dangerous PF is, how dangerous Lungu is to our economy once we kick them out in August 2021. Let's brace ourselves. let's move on together with a mind that come 2021, we kick out PF so that you give HH chance and his team to reconstruct this great nation once again. I thank you.
Thank you very much, Honorable Samakai. And in winding up, I just want to ask PF ministers to deny this, that as an orchestrated program of corruption leading into Bill 10, let them deny that on Women's Day and on Youth Day, they gave sums of money to selected members of parliament of the UPND and made them sign. Be known to the members of parliament of the UPND, they were being prepared for more money. Just like when you go to hotel to eat, before the main meal comes, you eat those small things. What are they called? Starters. They began giving MPs of UPND starters on Women's Day and Youth Day. Selected members, not all. No, this is, government. We don't want to leave anyone behind. Here is money sign here for Women's Day, for your functions in your constituency, because we have heard that you have made a pronouncement that UPND is now participating. And you get the money, you don't know that your colleague has been left out. You are just 12 of you who have been targeted. Can they deny these corrupt people? We are grateful anyway. That money was put to good use. Functions went very well countrywide. But we are happy that our MPs resisted these devilish schemes. PF at least has learned a lesson. Money doesn't buy everything. You can't buy the loyalty of the members of parliament of the UPND. So to Bowman Nusambo, who is a former die-hard MMD youth supporter, Bill 10 has also shown you that you have die-hard UPND MPs supporters who are loyal to HH and to the party, but most importantly, to the cause of liberating this country. Thank you, colleagues. Do we have any questions? Yes?
My name is Mangaira. I write for ANS. The question is related to you. Not long time ago, you had indicated the intention to report the matter of suspected corruption when the PF allegedly offered some money to your colleagues, perhaps to yourself, to the SS, so that they can take keen interest and follow the matter in an effort to reduce corruption, which the Transparency International Zambia said that's skyrocketing up. So how far have you gone with that intention? Do you still have that intention to do so? If so, when do we see you moving that affairs so that we can
News on the go with Diamond TV, powered by MTN.
Touching food before washing after changing diapers. This is tantamount to dangerous cooking.
Tawahishima tama James ya nomba fibondo. Tayapu alalanga ma James ya kare.
Manja mwako tuma James tuchachabe pate after pate. That's why funko sambila na hygienic soap. Ili na active silver technology wambele.
Soap with technology.
Of Sapapi!
Call police, madam.
Go and hygienics and kurukuta her right now.
You are under samba in the laws of hygienics.
Hygienic soap is a powerful antibacterial soap with active silver